It's kinda dark out. I do think this fight is the light. Fight of the light. This is a rough draft, but fuck it, the timing was right.
And then they had some type of CIA or one of those agencies came out. I think sometime this year and mentioned, sometime last year, and mentioned about the aliens are coming.
Yeah.
So in so many words, they know there ain't nothing coming but us.
Right.
So now, try to understand what this might be is to try to understand this. Melanin was studied by the governments.
Yeah.
All the way from, we can say that the real powerhouse of that was studied from World War II on into now. A form of melanin, which was before it was called melanin, it was called occultum. And later on called melanin by Dr. Aaron Lerner in the 1950s, named it melanin. Which is interesting here because they so-called have a comet coming in the fall of the year called Elenin. Elenin.
Yes.
What are they trying to say? They got a comet called Elenin. They took the M off. And it's not by mistake that this comet is right in line with this 21st thing. So, like I said again now, try to tell the people, when you make these dates, we're talking about stuff that's going on the inside of you. That way you don't be wrong, fail prophecies, and looking like a damn fool when your day of judgment don't come. You see what I'm saying? And according to this Diane Stein's book, the stuff she's talking about is Christ energy. And remember, the Christ energy is you ain't gonna see no man in no robe with no sandals. The Christ that's coming is coming through you.
Right.
So but also lining up is they got a comet that's coming called Elenin. You see, sometime in the fall of the year. Very interesting here. Now, so they studied this melanin thing, and they came to the conclusion on how melanin works. They tried to make the prototype of the melanin, and the prototype of melanin is nanotechnology. Nanotechnology. That's the prototype. They even got some stuff where they study nanomelanin. But we do, nanotechnology is the prototype of how melanin functions. So they studied how melanin functioned, and it ended up in what their version of it, their technological version of what they could create was nanotechnology. So anybody want to see how melanin works, you get the G.I. Joe movie that came out last summer. And that movie explained nanotechnology and what it can do. So apparently, what they are afraid of is when this nanotechnology unleashes in those people, those melanated people, the real nanotechnology, they're thinking it's going to be an invasion that will eat the world, about like a movie called Langoliers. Anybody seen the movie Langoliers? It was a movie came out in 1995.
No! Daddy, no! Make them go away! Please make them go away! I'll be good boy! Please, I promise I'll be good if you just make them go away!
King movie called Langoliers, and these little black dots ate up the earth. You see what I'm saying? I ate up one dimension. It's called the Langoliers. So, but you will see when you see the nanotechnology in the movie G.I. Joe is what they are afraid of. And for some reason they're afraid of that coming up out of us because they do know based on all the ancient texts that this world is just going to disappear. Even in the Bible it said, you see what I'm saying? This heaven and this hell will not be around.
Right.
So if hell ain't going to be around, what the hell are you scared of? Hell is only a state of condition, and based on your knowledge of where you are in this world, it could be hell or it can be heaven.
That's correct.
You see? You see? So now, but they say this heaven and earth will not be around. So obviously this thing is going to disappear, and they are afraid They are afraid that it's going to be this war of destruction with this melanin rising up and doing the nanotechnology. I say that that's just their fear, because they're warfare people, and they always fear that. And why not? I mean, you might as well put it on the table if you figure there's a chance of that happening. But for what we know, it said it'd be gone like a twinkling of an eye. And so for what we know, we're talking about how this thing is going to go down, is basically we're just going to wake up and going to be in another world. You're just going to wake up out of this dream, and this dream going to be gone. Because this is only an illusion anyway. And once the return of the third eye, you understand what I'm saying? At its full aspect, you don't have to have all the destruction and stuff like that. You see them, all the destruction of. You're just going to come forth by day, which is the original book. The Egyptian book of the dead say coming forth by day.
Yes,
You see? So we're just going to wake up, but that's not stopping them. But they still are showing what this melanin could do, which is in the East Indian text, some of the East Indian Kundalini texts, where they say there are devices in the body that will come online and destroy everything if we were threatened. For distinction. You see, we were threatened by distinction. That is also reported in the text. It's a book called Kundalini for a New World by Gene Kiefer. And they talk about these devices that they found in these texts in India. There's devices in the body. So naturally that was something that probably could have happened if we were slated for total extinction. So they have to go about and kill us off on other means slowly, and you see what I'm saying, and conspire, you see, to kill us and do not announce the day of battle. So that's one aspect of it. But what we're talking about here is finding the third eye, where we're just going to wake up and have a whole new existence. There's a book, Finding of the Third Eye, by Vera Stanley Alder, A-L-D-E-R, Vera, V-E-R-A, Stanley, S-T-A-N-L-E-Y, Alder, A-L-D-E-R, a book been out for years. Book has been out for years. The Finding of the Third Eye. She has another one called The Fifth Dimension. But what's interesting in this particular book, why this book was always of interest, was why it was always an interest. She mentions in this book that one day the third eye, the third eyes would open.
Yes.
One day the third eyes will open. That's what we are upon now. That's why this is very important with this lecture we're doing tonight.
Right.
She mentioned it. Edgar Casey said that, well, one day there will be and he did it, but he couldn't understand the metaphysics of it. So he said one day there will be an incarnation of an entity called John Pineal. So he was looking for like a Christ figure. But John Pineal is the pineal gland. You see, and you got John, you got On, you got Elijah, you got Enoch, you got in a line of one before Christ would be Tahuti. So John is translated back into Egyptian as Ta'an or Tahuti. So John Pineal is melanin and the light of the pineal gland, the light of the world. So the entire Christ is the light of the world. In ancient Egypt, the light of the world, or Horus, the light of the world, is none other than the pineal gland.
Right, right.
Now, Moses wrestled with the angel, not Moses, Jacob wrestled with the angel all night. And when morning broke, he saw the face of God called pineal.
Called pineal, yes.
Called pineal. The great face is another name. The great face is another name for Heru, light. Another name for Heru, or the hero. Another name for the hero, where you get the word hero from, is Heru, which is Horus, which is the pineal gland, Eye of Heru. Another name for hero is called the great face, the face of God. The face of God is on the inside of your brain, which is the pineal gland. Now, going right along, we have Osiris is a corn deity.
Mm-hmm.
Now they say no one knows, not even Jesus knows when the end, but the Father. Well, Horus don't know what the end until Osiris comes back. Osiris is a corn deity, and the corn deity, the corn deity, they say that the pineal gland is exactly the size of a grain of corn. So we have the deity that Aleister Crowley drew and had it at Greenwich Village in the 1900s, 1919, I think, a deity called Lamb. And Lamb has the head of a grain of corn. So they took this Lamb deity, put some bigger eyes on it, and they have been dealing with that with the alien thing for years. So the alien mask that you see, all of the bug-eyed things you see with the alien movies, that comes from Aleister Crowley's drawing of Lamb. But they say that Lamb is a part of an extraterrestrial government. But Lamb has a head is shaped like a grain of corn. Lamb is none other than the pineal gland. The extraterrestrial government is the pineal gland. You see, is the pineal gland. So now.
It's kinda dark out. I do think this fight is the light. Fight of the light. This is a rough draft, but fuck it, the timing was right.